Hey guys, this is Apollo here, and it is time for another deck profile. Well, a new deck for DZ-BT07, and it's right here, Argo Sirens. So, it's a relatively cheap deck to pick up, and a really fun deck in general, because, well, it's a 5-stack deck, and the way how it works is like somewhat similar to Wellstro in a sense, but it is what it is. It's a fun deck. Like, I got the tour for quite cheap, and then I just started building there. And most of the guy here isn't really that expensive to build in general. So, well, without further ado, let's go on deck profile. So first off, we'll start on with the right line. A sec. There we go. Right. So with the right line, it's pretty straightforward. So grade 0, you need to run Rosalis, which is your Argos Insider, because the right line does depend on her. Eremia, which her skill is when you write this on top of Rolos, which is this card, you may reveal a grade 3 Argo Siren from the right deck, which is Calliope herself. You search the deck for a tiny order, put it in your hand, and shuffle the deck. Her second skill is on the back row rear circle. At the end of the battle, when a unit in the same column as this unit stands, if your Vanguard is an Argo Siren, you can still last one and stand this unit. So, I'll go to more in detail how many copies I put in the main deck, but for now, it does work, if you ask me. I play the grade 2. I play exactly the same as Eremia, but except you have to write on top of Eremia. Then you do the same thing, so it's typing order. Second skill, if your Vanguard is an Argo Siren, this unit gets boost. So, and the main boss herself, it is Calliope. Right, so Calliope's skill is that continuously on circle during your turn. If you have a tiny order in your bind zone, this unit gets the 5 power. And if you have 2 or more tying orders in your bind zone, 2 or more different tying orders in your bind zone, at least, you get the final row gets 5,000 power instead of her getting 5k. Second skill, act on my once a turn, you discard cover hand, choose a tying order from your drop, and put it in the order zone. So you still kind of realize that the deck itself, she herself doesn't really do much, but it's one of the orders that make the deck work. First skill, auto on my once a turn. When this unit attacks, you combat 1. Choose a tidying order from your order zone and put it in the bind zone. Then, if your opponent's Vanguard is greater or greater, you may energy blast 3. And instead of choosing 1, you choose two tidying orders. So basically, this is like the key core itself. The orders itself mainly carry the deck, and I think it's a really interesting concept. At least how I see it. It's very similar to Wellstro, maybe to a extent dilution in its own way, but it is a really interesting way how this deck will function. It basically is like waves, but with voters basically. Alright, so let's go on to the main deck. So main deck, I will go to the orders first because I think that one's more important compared to the actual card themselves. So the orders, alright, so here we go. So for the orders, I play 4 of the Grade 3 Giant Order, which is Kalos Orcos, and I play 4 of the Catros Ode. So I'll go to the Grade 3 Giant Order skill first. So to play the order, you must still pass 1, and if your Vanguard is a Argo Siren, you can pretty much play that. Second skill, when this unit is placed in the put in the order zone, sorry, you may search your deck for a Tear Dragon, call the rear guard, and shuffle the deck. Second skill, when this card is bound by an ability of an Argo Siren from your order zone, if your opponent's Vanguard is greater or greater, choose one of your Vanguards and he gets the red text. Auto Vanguard circle. When this unit attacks for that, at the end of this battle attacked, if this card is not stood by ability for this turn, you stand this regard and change the drive to 1. So basically, it is your restand. It basically restands like Calliope. So it is. Well, that's the one that carries Calliope, and then you get another 5th attack from the Grade 1 order. So the play order is the same thing. You need to have an Argo Vanguard and Silbason to play it. The skill of this order is that when this card is put in the order zone, you can look at the top 7 cards of the deck and choose up to 1 Argo Siren that's the same grade or lower than your Vanguard, or you choose a tiding order among them, and if you reveal an Argo Siren, you call the rear guard, and if you reveal a tiding order, you put it in your hand and shuffle the deck. So that's basically, it just filters the deck really. That's what they do really. And the skill for that, for an order, is when this unit is placed in the when this card is put in the bind zone by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Argo Siren Vanguard, choose one regress and stand it. So essentially, turn 3, if you're going first, you get 4 attacks, then it still goes to 5 attacks, basically. So, basically, if you think about it, the orders are, like I said, they're carrying the deck for the most time, and yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so we'll go on to the main units. So, obviously, since this deck is, it is Persona Rally, I mean, you have obviously run 3 copies of, Calliope in the main deck. And then for the backup grade tree, which is basically your grade tree, is Stunning Wave Dragon. It is a tier dragon, and its skill is that when this unit is placed from deck or hand to rearguard circle, if your Vanguard is a grade 2 or greater Argo Siren, this unit gets 5 power, and you may counterblast 1 or energy blast 3 to draw a card. So, draw engine, and in situations where you want to use counterblast, you can just energy blast the deck, which the deck does not suffer that much if you think about it. Second skill, when it's your text, you may give this unit 5 power until the end of the turn. At the end of that turn, retire this unit. So, some might think, well, retiring a rigger, that's not really good. But honestly speaking, if it's gonna get 23k in as a whole, and if it's not gonna be vanilla the next turn, you might as well just kill it just to make way for more new units, really. So, it does make sense, at least the way how I see it. But it's fine. It's a good card. I mean, it does help Argos a lot. Now, grade 2s, I run one backup copy of Rift C in the main deck. Not really. I not really need it for the most part because I don't think she does much. To be very honest, I mean, if I really want to, I can play another tier dragon, specifically like a tight line, and maybe if you really want. I mean, if you want to be a little ballsy, you can take out like one copy of the order, and you can replace the Rift C for like the Stoichia, the Rainbow Cycler, but. Honestly, I feel like the 4/4 is okay because you do need to get orders and benefit as much as you can, really. And the next grade 2 I run is 2 Board Briny Dragons. So Board Briny Dragon skill is from a drop zone. When a Tiding Order card is placed into the order zone, if you don't have a rearguard on your field with the same name as the unit, you may call this rearguard from drop to rearguard circle. Second skill, when this unit plays on rearguard circle, you can choose a Tiding Order if you're in a bind zone and put it in drop. And for this one, this unit gets 10 power. So you notice this has a cycle where you keep recycling your Tiding Orders, and it just keeps going on, really. So this guy does help like a ton, really. So pretty good. And we'll go on the great ones. Great one. This is your Argo side. You have Tiding Order Searcher. So I run 4 Sinels. Sinels skills when it is pinned on rearguard circle. If your Vanguard is an Argo Siren, you can boss 1, you switch your deck for a Tiding Order, put your hand extra for the deck. Second skill, when your opponent's Vanguard is greater or greater, and you have placed a Tiding Order in your order zone, for this turn, this unit gets 5 power. So, yep, here's what it is. I mean, it just didn't your deck, really. And here I run 2 backup copies of Iremia in my main deck. So, mainly just there to be a Vanguard restander. So, basically, once Calliope restands from this card, this also restands with suppressing 1. And you might be thinking, well, it does eat a bit of soul. Shouldn't you be concerned? Well, I'm not so concerned because we have these. So, I have 3 Melson Zelsonates. Zelsonates skills at the end of the battle, when this unit boosts a turn and it's end of the battle, you can put this in your soul, choose one of your units, and get the 5 power. So essentially, it basically just boosts like Stunning Wave, for example, or like Briny if you think about it, and then just pump soul, which will just essentially help Calliope in terms of other support here and there. And just as it is, it's because the deck is also combat heavy. I do run 3 Price Tridents. Price Trident skill, when this unit, when another unit attacks, if it is the 5th battle of this turn, you may put this unit in soul and countercharge 1. So some might be thinking, well, it's a little bit restrictive. Like it's a bit confusing to play, isn't it? Like getting away. Well, to be honest, after playing on this deck, it is not that difficult to do. It's actually relatively straightforward, really, because it's some people say that the price trend might not help in a way, but it does still give countercharge. So I feel like if you're gonna have like 6 cards here that put in soul, that's pretty much better. It's good enough, really. Like this needs its soul blast restand. If you play orders, you need soul blast as well. But honestly, these cards are really good because since they give power and you just counter in deck, and also the timing is always like relatively straightforward to hit, and you will definitely pick up pretty quickly and see how the attacks will go, and then once you know when time will pop off, it just pops off naturally. So you don't have to worry about like the timing, at least in this case, at least in this build. But I would say it's natural. It would happen naturally. So I do play 4 of the effect PGs. Ideally, you do want to play the 172 in there, but because this is a more casual deck, I'm not putting it in my main deck. So triggers, the strike here OT, it is pretty straightforward. I play 8 crits, obviously. Now, just as a little tip, if you want to play Argos Sirens, I would suggest make the 4 vanilla crits at least the tier dragon side, which is basically this one right here, because I'm not saying you're gonna search this out for this order, but honestly speaking, there are like maybe there's a small chance you might pull this out from your deck with this card skill if you really need to, but my suggestion is just run it just in case, really. I mean, if you really want, you can take out this crit for the for the stolen crit effect crits. That works fine. I base effect draws because you do need to draw a piece of it you eat pretty fast, and I don't see fronts are really helpful, at least for me, because yeah, I think I want to draw my pieces more often other than like giving more offenses, because I do realize if I play fronts, it will tend to make me a little more well, not break, but you're not getting enough resources, really. And I pay 4 heals, 2 of the vanilla ones, and okay, ideally I don't play 4 of the vanillas, which I do have, but depending on the matchup, you can play like depending on meta as well. It's either you can play like the crit meta, or you can play the multi-attack meta. It depends, but honestly, for now, I'm just gonna stick to that. So, yep, that's it for the deck profile. So, honestly speaking, it is not a difficult deck to play, and it's a really cheap deck to pick up. And I think if you want a deck that's relatively straightforward to learn, I think this deck is a pretty good option to pick up. So with that being said, overall it's a fun deck. It is a very if I really want to say so myself, it's pretty much a beginner friendly deck if I put it in my own perspective. So with that being said, I think before we go, I think in general you can build everything in this whole set, really, and I think the only thing you need to find hard enough is probably these price tridents, which I think, I'm not sure the price went up by now, but it probably is. I don't know, but but it's not cheap when I can be certain it's not cheaper at this moment. But that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this deck profile. Do see some more videos. I've got more content coming. Give me some suggestions, give me some comments. I would love reading them, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.